Man, that's 3 in a row now.
Yeah. Hey, we're both at 56% for the season, baby.
Somebody's got to take the lead.
Somebody's got to take the lead somewhere.
Somebody's got to take the lead.
But you know what, though? Props to you, brother. 56% for a whole season with us covering every bet of the game, man.
It's excellent.
Every game through the course of the season. We're not going through picking games. We're going through every line, every bet that you can make.
We're both well above 60% on the money.
Yes.
And we're right in that high 50, low 50 on the over-under, mid-50s on the spread. We just got to work on that spread over-under a little bit.
Hey. All right, friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome to Week 18 of Bets and Buds. We the Buds helping you cash your bets this final regular season week of the season. Oh, yeah. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome to this Week 18. Week 18, we got a lot of action-filled fucking season going on.
Yes,
congratulations when we get there, Bobby, for your three-peat championship in fantasy.
Three times!
Yeah, that's why I always defer to you, brother, on the fantasy shit, because you know, I'm the parlay man. You're the fantasy guy, so I defer to you on that. You 4 times in a row did the championship, 3 years in a row winning that shit.
Yep. And I'm going to go back next year, so you better start doing your shit now.
All right. Well, you know me, baby. I'm going all on this parlay. This is my season right now. This is playoff parlay season.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
excited about this.
Ooh, this is playoff parlay because I got a lot of juice because I hit a couple of big hits before the end of the season. So I'm ready to go. I got funds loaded and ready to go. All right, so we got this first game of the week, man. We got the Steelers at the Ravens.
This interesting game. Pittsburgh's got to have this game to even keep their playoff hopes alive. So I have Pittsburgh covering this 3.5, winning the game, and I like the over at 36.5.
We're at total agreement on this one. The only thing I'm going to add on this is that we know Lamar Jackson is not playing.
Right.
He is not playing at all. We got
Huntley.
Huntley, yeah. Huntley is playing. He's starting at quarterback there. There's going to probably be a lot of defensive guys that are going to be sitting for the Ravens too as well. So this is prime for the Steelers to go in there and run their ass. I mean, and it'll probably still be a game just because of the division rivalry.
Baltimore's not going to lay down.
They're not going to lay down because they don't want to see Pittsburgh in there if they can avoid getting Pittsburgh in there. But with that being said, I definitely think Pittsburgh's going to go in there. Totally agreement with you as far as like winning this game, covering, hitting the money line over. I'm sorry, on 38.5. I had 36.5. 36.5. All right,
I like that.
All right, so that we're not even going to dive into any fantasy.
No, there's no fantasy. Fantasy, unless you're in one of those weird leagues where they do the combined 2-week score, which I think is ridiculous.
Or if you want to dive in that daily fantasy pool, but for me, that's a kiddie pool. So I got to reserve my parlay picks for you this week because we don't have any of the lines out yet because everybody's still deciding who's in, who's out, that whole nine there. So make sure you go and hit that Token Bets and Buds on my Facebook page, and also look for me on Twitter or X.
If you're going to stack anybody in this game for a daily fan, you had Mason Rudolph Pickens. I mean, they seem to have found something together.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that is, but I mean, as far as at this point, fantasy that's such a long shot money wise. This is the time of the season where you want to go on for you hit the book.
Yep.
Because when you hit the book right now, you know who's playing, you know who's not playing, you know everybody's going to fucking win this week.
You can pay for your daily fantasy forever.
Yes, exactly. Because that's just so small time nickel and dime when it comes to like hitting the big payouts on that shit. All right, so next up we got the Texans at the Colts. Another interdivision rivalry.
Very interesting.
This is playoff do or die right here. This is probably going to be one of the better games of the week here. You know, I went back and forth on this game and what I thought on this one here. Like so for me, what I thought, I have the Texans are favored at 1.5 in Indianapolis. Actually, I'm going with the Texans to cover that 1.5, win this game, and obviously I want to hit the over at 47.5 because both teams can put up a lot of points and light up this scoreboard.
Okay. Well, we're in total disagreement on this one. I like Indiana to get it done at home. I know Houston's probably the better team.
Yes,
if you look at it. They're the better team. They've got the better quarterback, better wide receivers. Running back, Indianapolis has got that, but
how much is that going to come into play?
I think Indy gets it done at home.
Here's my only reason why I went with Houston, because Gardner Minshew is not a back-to-back lighted up guy.
No,
he's usually a get-back guy.
Yeah,
he's a get-back guy. So for me, I'm going with fucking Houston. So
I like it. I mean, that's a tough game to pick.
That is. I mean, that's essentially a pick 'em really right there, back and forth. That's going to be a great game. It's going to go either way.
Is that the Saturday night game?
No. Well, yeah. That's a Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon. Okay. Oh yeah, no, actually Saturday night. That one's a 7:16 kickoff.
No, all right.
7:16 kickoff.
So
that'll be a great one. So I'm gonna have to find some juice I can throw on that one because I got to make sure I can do a whole little parlay action to get my playoff funds and my seed money going up for that weekend. All right. So next up we got the Falcons at this. This game.
Well, this is another playoff game, too. But only if Tampa Bay loses, though.
But if you go back and look what I said at the beginning of the season, and early in the season when this matchup first played, this is one game that I never, ever as a gambler touched.
Yeah, because you
never know what the fuck. No, regardless of the records for these teams, you don't know what the hell is going to happen between the Saints and the Falcons at all.
And they're both still fighting. Like, they've got to win.
Oh, yeah, they both even have a chance. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I like New Orleans to get it done at home. Falcons are just, I don't know what's going on. Like, they have so many weapons.
They do.
And for them not to have an offense that even functions at
it's the quarterback position. We know what it is. It's a quarterback position.
It's got to be play calling, too. I mean, you got to blame some of it on that.
Yeah, to a degree, but like the play calling is actually really predictable just because of the fact that there is no quarterback there to make any threat to get the ball to Drake London, to get the ball to Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I mean, Heineke doesn't have it.
He's a
serviceable
He's a serviceable guy, but he's not a guy that, you're going to go with. And Desmond Ridder, we already see he's not really going to be there. Might be a destination for Justin Fields next year. We'll see. We'll see.
So I like New Orleans to cover this one at home. I've got it at -3. New Orleans wins at home, but I like the over at 42.
All right, so we are totally opposite. Totally opposite in this one here, which we know what the track record is saying in the course of the season, so let's see what happens here. But I'd actually like the Falcons to go ahead and ruin the Saints' party in New Orleans, actually win this game, hit the money line, obviously, and I like the under at 42.5. What'd you have the under at it do FanDuel?
I've got a 42.
You got a 42? I have 42.5 do FanDuel, but either way, so I like the under on that one. All right, so the next up, we got the Browns at the Bengals. No Joe Flacco. No Joe Flacco.
No Flacco.
No Joe Flacco. So with that being said, no Joe Flacco.
But I still like the Browns to cover this 7-point spread. I think they still win just on the back of their defense. And I like the under at 38 in this game.
Okay, you like the Browns to cover the 7.5?
I got it at 7.
Oh, 7?
Yeah.
7? See, I got it at 6 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it at 6 through DraftKings. I'm sorry, FanDuel. But so for me, I actually like the Bengals with no Joe Flacco playing in this game. I like the Bengals to win this game.
Okay.
I like them to hit the money line just to make the dicey little who wins, who doesn't.
What do you got it down in?
I got it at 6. I got minus 6 at the Bengals are favorite at home, and I obviously hit the money line. And then over, I had the over at 38.5. I like the over on that one.
Okay. Well, that's 3 in a row now.
Yeah. Hey, we're both at 56% for the season, baby.
Somebody's
got to take the lead somewhere.
Somebody's got to take the lead.
But you know what, though? Props to you, brother. 56% for a whole season with us covering every bet of the game, man.
It's excellent.
Every game through the course of the season. We're not going through picking games. We're going through every line, every bet that you can make.
We're both well above 60% on the money.
Yes.
And we're right in that low 50 on the over-under, mid-50s on the spread. We just got to work on that spread over-under a little bit.
Hey, you know what? But that's still professional gambling rate. We're still right there.
Oh, I know. I plan on looking up the professional. I'm going to be looking up some stats.
Oh, yeah.
Next podcast to throw it out there. Because we matched or exceeded a lot of these people.
A lot of these guys that are getting them big money to make this shit. So, hey, this is only the start, brother. Only the start. All right. So, so that's where we're at on that one there. So, as far as the next game, we got the Jaguars at the Titans.
Yep.
Jaguars at the Titans.
Tennessee's coming to play. Vrabel's team. He's not going to let them lay down in Week 18. But I like Jacksonville to cover this 5.5, win in Tennessee, and I like the over in this game.
Okay. All right, so I'm with you on the over.
Okay.
I like Tennessee actually to cover this 5.5.
Okay.
I like Tennessee to cover that. I think Jacksonville might still squeak out the win. I think Jacksonville might still squeak out the win just to make this shit interesting for like the last little come down to the wire. Who's going to get in? What seeds are going to be? So, but I do like Tennessee to give them a tough fighting game to get down for the win there because Vrabel. Vrabel's not going to let these guys go out like bitches. He's not going to let them go out like bitches. See, like that for him. If you're going to be a Mike Vrabel guy and be back on that team next year, you better put up a fight.
Play Week 18.
Yes, you better come put up a fight. Absolutely. All right. So the next up, we got who we got here? We got the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Ugh.
Yeah. This is why I kind of hope the Panthers pull this one off just to make that Atlanta-New Orleans game a little more intriguing. But I've got Tampa Bay all day in this one. Cover that 4.5. They go into Carolina and win. And I like the under at 38.
Okay, all right, so we're in total agreement. I got them at 5.5. But we're both, I got them at 5.5. But we're in total agreement though on this one though. So this
Tampa
one
Bay covers this.
I think Tampa Bay wins. I mean, you got Tepper throwing fucking soda and shit on fans and stuff during the course of the game. They're just a very demoralized team. The Panthers aren't going to really have a big home field advantage in this game because I think the fans are pretty much out on Tepper as an owner right now. Done. I mean, the dude, what did he sell those tickets for a couple weeks ago? Was it like 50 cents or some shit a fucking ticket? And they still couldn't get like 5,000 people in the stand. So.
Does the NFL try and force his hand and to sell the team?
No, not this early. He's got too much money, too much juice. I mean, he's the second most wealthy owner in the NFL, so there's no way they're going to do that this fast. He's going to have to do a lot more egregious things before that happens.
Some Dan Schneider.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to, there's got to be some raping and pillaging going on before they cut it out. That's it. All right. So then next up, we got another game. I mean, this is a draft position game right here. We got the Jets in New England. Yes, Jets in New England. This is a draft position game right here. All right. So for me in this game, this is a Patriot home game. I got them 2.5 through FanDuel.
I've got 1.5.
You got 1.5? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's nice. Either way for me, I'm going through. The Jets are kind of wrapping this season up.
They are.
They're going through looking at next year for Aaron Rodgers. These guys probably got the moving trucks already packed up and ready to go. So for me, I like the Patriots to cover that 2.5, whether it be 1.5, whatever it would be. I would like the 1.5, obviously a lot better. Right. But the 2.5, I'll still take that. Obviously hit the money line. I like the over because it's only 30.5 on this game.
We are in agreement all the way across the board.
All right, so that's 2 in a row now.
That's 2 in a row. So 6 games, 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3 right there. All right. So then next up, we got the Vikings at the Lions. Vikings are pretty much kind of
they're done.
They're done for their season. I mean, that's pretty much it for them.
The Lions are kind of stuck in their position, aren't they? Or they
can make a move still. They can still make a move. They still have an outside chance to make a move. I believe if Dallas were to lose, Philly were to lose, they still would have a chance to kind of squeeze up and take the number 2 seed. Number two seed. Yeah, nobody's gonna be able to catch.
Nobody's catching.
Nobody can catch San Francisco.
What if they overturn that game last week?
They are not.
Nobody's going to turn it. No.
He can.
They can't overturn that game. Here's why. So while we're on this shit, let's go here and I'm going to tell you exactly why that shit got called the way it did. Detroit got too cute. They pulled some tricky shit.
They did.
You can't send 3 people up, man. They reported like assholes. And I get it. They were trying to be smart. They were trying to be crafty with what they were doing, but they reported like assholes.
But it cost them.
So when that game came up, you had Penny Sewell was standing there by the fucking ref. Then you also had fucking Decker. Decker went up to the ref, and then Skipper runs up on the field, and he goes up to the ref after that. They tried some tricky shit. The Cowboys defense even said that they heard them call Skipper as the eligible lineman reporting eligible.
So they just confused the
official. They confused the official. The Cowboys knew who was covering, and if they had called Decker, it would have been unbalanced formation because Decker was the inside guy. He covered up the lineman. So then it was illegal formation on top of that when that whole play happened. So right there. Lions, I get it. You were trying, you made it try to work, but you did some tricky shit to try, and so they reported like assholes. There was never a time you're supposed to have 3 guys as offensive linemen running to the face,
and they still had 2 chances.
And they still had 2 more chances.
They could have
kicked that extra point. Why don't you fuck up after that? Kick the extra point. But that's MCDC being that guy.
I mean, you gotta love them for it. You gotta
love them for having the heart to say, you know what, fuck it. I made a decision. We're gonna go to a win. We're gonna keep going to go win. But at the end of the day,
it did cost.
They lost, and to me, the football God spoke. The football God spoke at the end of that game, so that's how they turned out in that end. All right, so they're diving back into that game. This is a home game here. I feel like the Vikings are done. Yep. I feel like, but Detroit still has to go over some good momentum. They're still going to be having some players playing in this point because they got a lot to play for still. I like the Lions. I got them at 3-point favorites.
Yep.
So I like the Lions to cover that. Obviously, hit the money line. I like the under at 45.5.
We agree all the way across, buddy.
All right. So
Detroit all the way.
Yes, sir. All right. So then next up here, this is going to be a good one here. We got the Bears at the Packers. Packers with another win and get in game.
Yeah, I think the Bears spoiled this one.
I do too. I'm in total agreement. Like in that, I feel because if you look back at the Packers season from them defensively, they let Tommy DeVito run all over him. Man, he has 70 yards rushing against. What do you think Justin Fields is going to do?
He's going to light him up.
And for me right now, this team is playing for Justin Fields. They are really they want him to be their quarterback going to next season.
If he wins this game, he'll have went 8-4 over the final 12.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I like the Bears in this game.
I like the Bears all the way. I think, and
they're 3-point dogs. Yep. Yes, you like the over?
I like the over.
You like the over? So I went the under on this one. It's 44.5. That's kind of one of those in between numbers at 44.5. Right. You throw the bump on top of it. Plus at 44.5. I mean, it could easily be like 28, 21. I mean, any of those games. I mean, not 28, 21, but you go like 24, 20, somewhere in that range.
I just don't trust Green Bay's defense in this one. And Chicago's defense is. I mean, it's better.
But they've been playing pretty good ball.
They've been playing good, but
they've been playing pretty good ball.
Green Bay's been putting up some offensive
They've been putting up some good offensive numbers, but their defense is really especially with quarterbacks like Justin Fields. especially with quarterbacks like him. They really seem to give them problems.
Okay.
Really do.
I like that.
Yep. So we're on that. The only difference we have on there is the over/under on that one. All right. The next up, we got the Cowboys at the Commanders. Cowboys at the Commanders. That was what I had next on my slate, Bobby.
Okay.
So I got that. It's in Washington.
This is the biggest spread of the week.
Yeah, biggest spread of the week, 13.5. 13.5. What do you like on this one?
I like the Cowboys to cover this. I think they just dog stomp Washington here.
Okay.
I mean, you got the chance to wrap up the second seed. There's no reason for Dallas not to play in this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to play. They're definitely going to play.
And they've already beat Washington by, 30 once already this season.
Absolutely. So. But here's where I go on contrary to that. All right, so for me, with it being the 13.5-point spread, I feel like the Commanders will cover that.
Okay.
I feel like the Cowboys will win. I feel like the over will hit at 45.5.
Yep.
They announced that Sam Howell's going to be the starter this week. This is going to be Ron Rivera's swan song. So every player that's on that roster is going to be auditioning for the next coach, next GM that's coming in that picture. So I feel like they're going to play this game really hard at home. And being a Cowboy fan for as long as I have, this should be a dog walk. But I know how this shit goes, and we're gonna get down there like motherfucker. Why is this a 6-point game in the fourth quarter? That's what I feel like it's gonna be. And at some point, we're gonna have to sweat it out a little bit. So I feel like the 13.5 is a little bit too much outside of some backdoor cover that they maybe get a defensive touchdown late in the game to end the game.
Okay. Yeah. No, I still think Dallas covers.
Yeah, I hope so. For my gambling record, I don't. But for overall, I think that's where it's gonna go. All right. So next up, we got the Seahawks at the Cardinals. All right, that's in Arizona.
I like
Cardinals with the big upset with Philly to give Dallas that opportunity to win the division.
I like them to beat Seattle here.
You do?
I do.
All right. I don't know. I was torn on this one.
Believe me, if you look at my sheet, I wrote Seattle down first, and then I really got to thinking about it. I was like, I crossed that shit out and went Arizona.
You know what? This is one game from a gambling standpoint I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. But
no, because you don't know what you're going to get.
You don't know what you're going to get. Kyler Murray's a wild card. Geno Smith's a wild card. You got to see what's going to happen with Seattle getting into this playoff run here. For me, I wouldn't touch it from a gambling standpoint, but because we put our gambling records out there, and we put every pick out there for the public, just to let everybody see what we do, I like Seattle to cover the 2.5.
Okay.
I like Seattle to cover 2.5, obviously hit the money line, and I like the under at 47.5.
All right, I agree on the under.
You like the under at 47.5, but you got the Cardinals going.
I've got the Cardinals winning this one at home. They're fighting for their coach, like.
Oh yeah, I mean they're scrapping.
And he came out and gave Kyler Murray a vote of confidence today and says he is the franchise
quarterback. Well, and with that being said, I mean if you look at between Shane Steichen being in Indianapolis, you look at Arizona with Gannon, they're in Arizona as coaches. That's probably one of the missing pieces that Philadelphia's missing right now. They lost both coordinators.
They're definitely,
and that's a big thing. Coaching matters
because when you've got Matt Patricia.
Yeah, you bring him in as your savior for your team. That's when you know that the building is burning down, baby. I mean, it's burning down. So we'll see what happens playoff time. Let's see if they rally. All right, so then next up here, we got the Rams at the 49ers. 49ers
got nothing to play for, so I like the Rams all the way across the board.
And the Rams are a dangerous team. And
yes,
I feel like they're going to sit a lot of people, so the Rams are a very dangerous team. Might go up in there, Matthew Stafford go up into Detroit and crush their dreams during the playoffs is what I kind of foresee, but we'll get into that next week.
It could happen.
We'll get into that one next week.
I like the over at 42.
Yeah, we're in total agreement there.
Okay.
We're in total agreement on that slate right there because I like the Rams covering 3 points. Obviously, what do you have the over at?
42.
42. Yep. I have 42.5. So either way, that wouldn't change.
And you had it at 3?
Yeah, I had it at 3.
No, they got it at 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. Yep. Either way, that wouldn't change any of that for me. Whatsoever. All right, next up, speaking of the Eagles, we got the Eagles at the Giants.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles at the Giants, which is always a tricky game.
This is a tricky game.
Eagles always seem to pull this one out. But with that being said, I feel like the Eagles are going to cover the 5. They got them at 5.5.
I got the Giants covering.
You got the Giants
Eagles to cover that?
Yeah, I like the Giants to cover that. I mean, the Eagles cover that
Okay.
one. Yes. I like the Eagles to cover that one. Obviously, hit the money line. Yep. What do you like? Do you have the Eagles winning that game?
I do have the Eagles winning that game.
Okay.
And I like to hit the over at 42.
Yeah, 42. I have 41.5, but I like the over as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the over as well. But both defenses are kind of, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. I think the Giants really got nothing to play for except for tape.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much what they're playing for. Tape and jobs and auditions for going to the next season.
I hadn't heard who they were starting this week.
Who, the Giants?
Yeah.
The Giants are going to be, it's probably going to be Tyrod. You know that. I mean, it's not going to be.
Tommy
Cullins is gone, baby. We told you.
I know they were screaming his
name. The Gabagool has gone bad, baby. That is gone. Those days are over. Those days are over. He got his 15 minutes.
He did.
That's pretty much going to be about it on that one. All right, so next up we got the Broncos at the Raiders. The Russell Wilson-less Broncos.
They got it done last week. Stidham didn't look bad.
Yeah, they were playing the Chargers.
They were playing the Chargers, but I mean, as long as you don't turn the ball over, like you have a job in the NFL.
No, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he's doing something right. He's got some devil magic going on because he replaced Derek Carr last year. And he did the same thing with Russell Wilson. So he's whispered something in the coach's ear to make him like that shit.
I actually like Denver. They're getting 3 points. I like them to win, and give me the under in this game.
Okay. All right, so I actually took the Raiders. I got them at 2.5, and I like the Raiders actually to take this one at home. I like the over at 37.5. Right, Would you have the over?
I had 38.
38. I had 37.5. Okay. So yeah, but I like opposites on that one. So opposites on that one. All right. So for me, I just feel like the Raiders are just going to fight for that last little stretch for Antonio Pierce, see if they can get him that job. Because the players seem to like play for him.
You think he deserves the job?
You know what? I don't know, man. That's kind of. There's certain aspects when I looked at it, I said, yes, he does. But then when I watched what happened last week,
right,
and I'm like, maybe not just yet.
Okay.
Maybe not just yet.
No, but he's still going with the old coordinators and all that too, right? It's not like he has his own coaching staff.
No, he doesn't have his own coaching staff, but I mean, I still think it just as a whole, there might need to be a franchise reboot because they're going to have to get a new quarterback because Aiden O'Connell's not the guy in the future. I mean, there's going to be and watching college football this year, there's a lot of quarterback prospects coming out that you can really kind of transfer to going forward to the future.
Okay.
So, all right. So then next up, we got the Chiefs with no Patrick Mahomes playing. Probably no Chris Jones playing. They really don't have anything to play much at all. But they're playing those Chargers. They're playing those lowly Chargers. The lowly Chargers. So, what do you think on that one, Bobby?
I mean, the Chiefs are getting 3.5 points right now. What do you?
I got them at 3.
3?
Yeah, I got them at 3.
I think this is a field goal game. That's why I think the Chargers win. Because the Chiefs have nothing to play for. The Chargers a little bit to play for, I guess. Maybe Staley's job. I don't know.
Staley's gone.
Oh, yeah, he got fired already.
Staley's
That's right. He got fired already. I'm having a fucking senior moment. Yeah, he got fired weeks ago.
Yeah, he's the fuck out of there. He's gone.
Who took that spot?
Oh, it was it's one of the coordinator, like offensive, I don't know, running back coach. Who knows?
We're gonna get the Chargers to get this one done. Give me Kansas City at 3.5 to cover that. I like a field goal game here. Chargers win, and give me the over at 35.
So I like him at 3.
Okay.
I got the Kansas City as 3-point dogs. Like right now, the Chargers, I just feel like everything's kind of folded in for that season. They're going to be kind of moving on to the next year. I still like they got Blaine Gabbert playing a quarterback this week. He's a veteran. He's a veteran, and he's going to know how to protect the ball, drive them down the field, maneuver the ball, and control the offense in that range. The Chargers right now, they just don't give me any hope right now. They're not going to let Austin Eckler touch the ball at all. They don't want to give him any chance to get any incentives in his contract because he's going to be out of there next year. So for me, I like the Chiefs actually cover that 3-point dogs that they are, hit the money line. I like the under at 35.5.
Okay.
Under at 35.5.
All right. There we go.
All right, so next up here, we got the last one to slate. This will be the game of the week.
Yeah,
this is the game of the week. And kudos to the NFL for this one right here in the scheduling, not releasing the schedule till the last week, because this is the game that's going to matter no matter what happens. The early part of the day,
this is for the division title.
This is for the division title. But if Buffalo loses, they don't make it. And Pittsburgh wins, they don't make the playoffs.
Right.
So it's going to be a loaded game with a lot of action. And I can't wait to see what extra juice they have and props they're going to have going for this game, because it's going to be a good one. Because I know I'm going to have to throw something down. The smoking token parlay will be coming, and just keep it. Like I said, look out for my X profile. Look out on my Facebook profile. I'm going to put something out there to get something hot for this game here for sure. I got Buffalo at 3-point favorites at Miami. What do you got right there?
I like Buffalo. I've got them at 3. I like Buffalo to get it done. Yeah, down in Miami.
I do too. And the only reason why. Bradley Chubb was a huge loss.
Yes, it
was. Xavier Howard was a huge loss. I mean, they've taken some hits
that Miami
on their defense. I mean, it is so depleted. I mean, they really and Buffalo's playing some good ball right now, but their defense is so depleted. So I'm right now. I'm with you on that one. Fuck you, James Cook. You could have gave me a fucking touchdown last week. If you had just all you needed was one more touchdown to hit a parlay, it would have been nice and juicy. DJ Moore, you scored for me.
That stupid
Gus Edwards scored. Yeah, they got the tush push from fucking Josh Allen. Used to be an illegal play back in the day, but yeah, that's here nor there. Either way, but I like the Bills actually to hit that 3-point, cover the 3 points, hit the money line. Over under, I got it at 49.5. I like the under.
I like the under as well.
All right, so we're in agreement on that last one.
Okay.
We're in agreement. So all right, so let's see. This should be a hot action week here. This is. been one hell of a season, bro.
It has, man. It's been enjoyable.
Yes, it has. It's been one hell of a season, man. We've had a great run. Great fucking run.
We'll be doing this for the playoffs too, folks. So.
Absolutely. Doing this for the playoffs, and we're going to keep this party going through the rest of the rest of the offseason after this, as far as going and covering some draft coverage, getting into some St. Louis baseball Cardinals, some Blues hockey at that point. We'll be able to kind of transition and move our way around.
Yeah, once the Super Bowl's over, that's when hockey starts.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Getting like all the extra sports that aren't like, you know, relevant at that point. But we'll also get into some draft coverage too as well, because I've been watching a lot more college football than I have in the last probably like 4 or 5 years.
Me too.
To definitely gotta get a little bit more action. I gotta give you some more draft.
Yeah, unlike last year when I was sitting on your couch going, who?
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, I know a hell of a lot more players. But it's it brings me back to my old high school days and my college days where I knew who the fuck everybody was at that point. Like I used to one of my games I used to love to play was when the intros would come out, and I used to be able to say the guys' names before they announced it. Like, oh yeah, like it'd be Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. They'd be like, you know, like whoever from Notre Dame or whoever from Michigan State. And like I used to always like try to call the guys' names out. So I'm back in that realm again where I can almost get there once again.
Yeah, this is the most college football I probably ever watched in a season.
Really? So. Yeah. That was once upon a time one of my guilty pleasures. Definitely one of my guilty pleasures. All right, shout out to director Dave, True on the Track, for blessing us with those beats. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that comment button below. If you love what you've seen here, make sure you keep following us, everybody, because we're going to keep that action and that content going. Keep being on the lookout for some live action here. And also that merch, baby. That merch is coming. We'll make sure we're going to keep producing some of that merch for you. If you like that Bets and Buds action, we're the Buds helping you cash your bets. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Peace.